My best friend demanded I share my husband with her because she claimed she loved him before I even knew he existed. I wish I were exaggerating. It happened during dinner with me, my husband Leo, and my best friend Elena. One minute, we were sitting at the table like normal people. The next, Elena looked straight at us and said, "I'm in love with Leo and I want to share him." For a second, neither of us said anything. Leo and I just stared at her, waiting for the punchline, waiting for her to laugh, waiting for some sign that this was a joke gone horribly wrong. But she did not laugh. "What are you talking about?" I asked. Elena looked at me like I was the one being unreasonable. "Share him with me," she said. "I get him sometimes, you get him sometimes." She said it so casually, like she was talking about splitting a streaming subscription or taking turns with a car. Leo slowly set his glass down on the table and said, "Elena, that's not happening." She blinked at him, genuinely confused. "Why not?" she asked. "I met you first. I've loved you longer. If anything, she should be sharing with me." Something cold moved through my chest, because that was the moment I realized she actually believed what she was saying. "You've never even dated him," I said. Elena's voice rose immediately. "Because I was being nice. I was being a good friend, and this is the thanks I get?" Then she turned to Leo, her eyes wide and desperate. "Tell her," she said. "Tell her you've thought about me." "I haven't," Leo said. "You have," she snapped. "You're just too scared to admit it." Then she reached across the table and grabbed his wrist. Leo yanked his arm back instantly. "Don't touch me," he said. Elena pointed at him like she had just won an argument. "See, that reaction? That's not nothing. That's passion. That's him being uncomfortable." I stared at her in disbelief. "You don't get to tell me what he feels," I said. By then, Elena was standing. She was towering over us, her face flushed, her hands shaking. "I have been waiting for 5 years," she said. 5 years of watching you have everything I deserve, and I'm still being generous. I'm still letting you keep him part-time." Then she slammed her hand down on the table so hard the silverware jumped. "Most women wouldn't do that, Veronica. Most women would have just taken him. But I'm including you because you're my best friend, and I want us all to be happy. Just open your mind." I stood up too. "No," I said, "this is insane, and you need to leave right now, or our friendship is over." For a long moment, Elena just stared at me. Her jaw tightened. The anger drained out of her face, and what replaced it was worse. It was cold. "You're going to regret making me the enemy," she said. Then she grabbed her purse and walked out without another word. The door clicked shut behind her. I stood there for a few seconds, listening to the silence she left behind, and all I could think was, I cannot believe this is my life right now. Elena probably thought she had left us shaking. She probably thought Leo and I would be too scared or confused to move. But what she did not know was that after she left, Leo and I stayed up for hours, talking through what had just happened and trying to figure out what came next. Because I knew Elena, or at least, I thought I did, and I knew she would be back. She was not the kind of person who simply walked away after saying something like that. She was not the kind of person who accepted no when she had convinced herself that no was just an obstacle. So Leo and I made a decision. The next time Elena showed up, my phone would be ready. I was done being the friend who made excuses for her. 2 days later, Elena showed up at our front door holding grocery bags. I saw her through the peephole, and my whole body went tense. Leo came up behind me and whispered, "Is that her?" I nodded. We stood there for a moment without moving. Neither of us wanted to open the door. Then she knocked again. "Veronica," she called. "I know you're home. Your car is in the driveway. I just want to talk." Leo shook his head at me. I agreed. We were not opening that door. "I brought groceries," Elena called out. "All your favorites. The good yogurt, that fancy olive oil you like." Her voice was soft, almost cheerful. "I just want to apologize for how the other night went. I came on too strong." I looked at Leo. His jaw was tight. "Don't," he said quietly. "I'm not," I whispered. We stayed completely still. Elena knocked again, harder this time. "Veronica, come on, don't be like this. I'm trying to make things right. Just let me in so we can talk like adults." I did not move. I barely breathed. After what felt like forever, I heard her sigh through the door. "Fine," she said. "I'll just leave these here. The yogurt needs to go in the fridge soon, or it'll go bad." Then her voice softened again. "I really hope you'll think about what I said. I love you both. I just want us all to be happy." I heard the rustle of grocery bags being set down. Then I heard her footsteps moving away. I waited until I heard her car start. I waited until it pulled out of the driveway. Only then did I finally exhale. Leo pulled the curtain back just enough to look outside. "She's gone," he said. I opened the door and looked down at the bags. She really had bought everything. My favorite yogurt. Leo's protein bars. The expensive olive oil we only bought for special occasions. There was a small note tucked into one of the bags. I pulled it out and read it. "I'm not giving up on us. Love, E." I showed it to Leo, and his face tightened. "We should throw all of this away," he said. "We should," I agreed, "but we're not going to." He looked at me, confused. "What do you mean?" I picked up the bags and brought them inside. "Next time she shows up, we need proof," I said. "We need to record everything she says. If she's going to keep pushing, we need documentation." Leo nodded slowly. Then he stopped. His face changed. "Veronica," he said, "I need to show you something." He pulled out his phone and started scrolling. "I should have told you sooner," he said. "I didn't want to worry you, and I thought if I just ignored her, she would stop." Then he handed me his phone. It was a text thread. Hundreds of messages. All from Elena. All unanswered. The earliest ones were from 8 months earlier. "Hey, just thinking about you. I had a dream about you last night. Do you ever wonder what it would be like if things were different?" As I scrolled, the messages got more intense. "I know you feel it too. You can't hide from me forever. Why won't you answer me? I see you reading these. I love you so much it hurts. Please just talk to me." Then I reached the most recent ones. They were from 3 days before that dinner. "I'm going to tell her soon. We can finally be together. Just wait for me." I looked up at Leo. My hands were shaking. "How long has this been going on?" I asked. 8 months, he said. His voice was heavy with guilt. "I blocked her twice. She made new numbers. I thought about telling you, but I didn't know how. She's your best friend. I kept hoping she would just stop. She's been texting you for 8 months, and you never said anything?" "I never responded," he said. "Not once. I swear to you, Veronica, I never encouraged this." And I believed him. I could see it in his face. I could see how much this had been weighing on him. But it also meant this was so much bigger than I had thought. This was not a sudden confession at dinner. This had been building for almost a year. Maybe longer. "We need to document everything," I said. "Screenshot all of these. We might need them." Leo nodded and started taking screenshots. While he did that, I walked through the house. Something was bothering me. I could not name it at first, but something felt wrong. I went into our bedroom and looked around. Everything seemed normal. Then I opened my closet. My clothes were organized by color. I do not organize by color. I organize by type. Shirts with shirts, pants with pants, dresses with dresses. Someone had been in my closet and reorganized the entire thing. I called Leo in. "Did you do this?" I asked. He looked at the closet and shook his head. "I haven't touched your stuff." I felt sick. I walked through the rest of the house. Really looking this time. The books on the shelf were in a different order. The photos on the fridge had been rearranged. In the bathroom, my shampoo and Leo's shampoo had been switched. Little things. Things you would not notice unless you were looking. Things that said someone had been there, touching our things, moving through our home like they belonged there. "She's been in our house before," I said. "Not just today. She's been coming in while we're at work." Leo's face went white. "How long?" "I don't know," I said, "but she has a key. She could have been doing this for months." We checked everything. The drawers in the bedroom, the cabinets in the kitchen, the desk in Leo's office. That was where we found it. A photo of me and Leo from our wedding day, tucked into one of Leo's folders. Elena had drawn herself into the picture. It was a crude little sketch of her face next to ours, with a heart drawn around all 3 of us. On the back, she had written one word. Soon, Leo sat down heavily in his desk chair. "This is insane," he said. "She drew herself into our wedding photo. She thinks she belongs there," I said. "She's been thinking that for a long time." I took a picture of the drawing with my phone. Evidence. We were going to need all of it. 3 days later, I came home early from work. I had a headache all day, and my boss told me to go home and rest. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed that the front door was not fully closed. I knew I had locked it that morning. I always locked it. I sat in my car for a moment with my heart pounding. Maybe Leo had come home early too. Maybe he had just forgotten to close the door all the way. I texted him. "Are you home?" His response came back almost immediately. "No, still at work." "Why?" My hands were shaking as I typed. "Front door is open." He answered right away. "Don't go in. Call the police." But I did not call the police. I do not know why. Maybe because some part of me already knew who was inside. I got out of my car and walked up to the front door. I pushed it open slowly. The smell hit me first. Garlic, rosemary, something roasting. I walked through the living room and into the kitchen. And there she was. Elena was standing at my stove, wearing an apron I had never seen before, stirring something in a pot. She looked up when I walked in and smiled like this was completely normal. "Veronica, you're home early," she said. "Good. Dinner's almost ready." I stood there frozen. I could not process what I was seeing. My best friend had broken into my house and was cooking dinner. "How did you get in?" I asked. My voice came out steadier than I expected. Elena reached into her pocket and held up a key. "I made a copy," she said. Then she smiled. "Remember when you gave me your spare last year when you went on vacation? I made one before I gave it back. I knew you would want me to have one eventually." She said it so casually, as if making a secret copy of my house key was a perfectly reasonable thing to do. I felt sick, but I knew I had to stay calm. I needed evidence. I walked over to the counter where my purse was sitting and casually pulled out my phone. I propped it up against the fruit bowl, angling it like I was just setting it down. Then I hit record. Elena did not even notice. She was too busy tasting whatever she was making. "Elena," I said, "why are you here?" I needed her talking. I needed her to explain herself on camera. She set down the spoon and turned to face me fully. Because I wanted to show you what it could be like, she said. I remembered Leo mentioned at that barbecue 2 years ago that he missed home-cooked meals. You've been so busy with work lately. I figured I could help. She remembered something my husband had said at a barbecue 2 years earlier. She remembered it, and she had been holding on to it this whole time. I've seen you rearranging things in our house, I said. How many times have you been in here, Elena? She did not even look embarrassed. A few times, she said. I just wanted to help. You never fold Leo's shirts right, and your spice cabinet was a mess. I organized it for you. That's not helping, I said. That's breaking and entering. It's not breaking and entering when you have a key, she said. Then she laughed, like I was being silly. I just want to take care of you both. That's what family does. I didn't ask for your help, I said. I know you didn't, Elena replied. She started walking toward me, and I forced myself not to step back. But that's what love is, Veronica, anticipating what people need before they even know they need it. She kept coming closer. I've loved Leo since the day I met him. I've never felt this way about anyone else. And I would do anything for him. Anything. I just need the chance to prove it. She was close enough now that I could see the shine in her eyes. She believed every word she was saying. I'm not trying to take him from you, she continued. I just want to love him the way he deserves to be loved, the way you're too busy to love him. That hit me like a punch. I love my husband just fine, I said through my teeth. Then why isn't he happy? Elena asked. She tilted her head, like she was genuinely curious. I see the way he looks sometimes, tired, worn down. He needs someone to take care of him. Let me take care of him, Veronica. Let me take care of both of you. Then the front door opened. Leo walked in. He must have left work the second I texted him. He stopped in the kitchen doorway and stared at Elena standing at our stove. I watched his face move through 5 different emotions in 2 seconds. Confusion, recognition, disbelief, anger, fear. What the hell are you doing here? He asked. His voice was controlled, but I could see the tension in his shoulders. Elena's whole body changed when she saw him. She stood up straighter. Her face softened. She looked at him like he was the sun, and she had been living in darkness. Leo, she said, I'm making your favorite. I remembered you said you missed home-cooked meals. I wanted to surprise you both. She gestured toward the stove like she was showing off a gift. You also remembered the barbecue, I said. 2 years ago. You remembered exactly what he said. Of course I did, Elena said. I remember everything about him. I caught Leo's eye and glanced toward my phone propped against the fruit bowl. He understood immediately. We needed to keep her talking. Elena, Leo said slowly. How did you get into our house? I have a key, she said. She held it up again, proudly. I made a copy. And you've been coming in when we're not home, I added, rearranging things, going through our stuff. I was helping, Elena insisted. I was making things nice for Leo. That's not helping, Elena, Leo said. That's stalking. That's breaking and entering. That's illegal. Don't be dramatic, she said, waving her hand dismissively. I have a key. It's not illegal when you have a key. Leo pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. Elena moved faster than I had ever seen her move. She crossed the kitchen and slapped herself across the face. Hard. The sound made me jump. Her cheek turned red immediately. Then she hit herself again. And again. She stumbled backward and screamed, Leo, stop. Please stop hitting me. I lunged forward and tried to grab her arms. She twisted away from me and clawed at her own neck, leaving red marks behind. Please, Leo, she screamed. I won't tell anyone. Just stop. She threw herself against the counter and wailed, Not my face. Please, not my face. Leo was frozen. His hands were up. He was not touching her at all. I finally got hold of Elena's wrists and yelled, Elena, stop it. Stop. Then I fumbled for my phone and stopped the recording. The second I did, Elena went completely still. The tears stopped, as if someone had turned off a faucet. She looked at my phone in my hand and smiled. You didn't think I saw that? She asked. Her voice was completely calm now. Completely cold. You were recording, waiting for evidence, but all you got is audio of me begging your husband to stop beating me while you tried to pull him off. She straightened her clothes and wiped her face. Then she walked over to Leo. Her voice went soft again, almost tender. I'm doing this for us, Leo, she said. Everything I do is for us. One day, you'll see that. She touched his face. He flinched, but he did not move. Then she kissed both of us on the cheek and walked out the front door like nothing had happened. Leo and I stood in our kitchen in complete silence. The pot on the stove was still bubbling. The whole house smelled like the dinner she had made. My hands would not stop shaking. What just happened? Leo asked. His voice was barely a whisper. I looked down at my phone and played back the recording. Elena was right. Without the visual of her hitting herself, it sounded exactly like what she had described. Leo threatening to call the police. Elena screaming for him to stop hitting her. Me shouting and grabbing her. The recording was not just useless. It was worse than useless. It was ammunition for her. We have to delete this, I said, if anyone ever hears it without context. Leo nodded. Delete it now. So I did. That night, we changed the locks. For a few hours, I let myself believe that maybe that would be the end of it. But I could not sleep. I lay in bed beside Leo, staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation I had ever had with Elena. I searched my memory for signs I had missed, for clues, for little moments I had brushed off because she was my friend, because I trusted her, because I never imagined she could be capable of any of this. Then I remembered something. Elena had never let me meet her mother. Not once in 15 years of friendship. I had asked a few times over the years, "Hey, we should all do dinner sometime. Your mom could come." Every single time, Elena shut it down. She would get this look on her face and say her mother was complicated, or that it was not a good idea, or that they had a difficult relationship. At the time, I believed her. Lots of people have complicated relationships with their parents. I did not push. But now I wondered why. What was she hiding? I got out of bed quietly and grabbed my laptop. I opened Facebook and searched for Elena's mother. It took a while, but I finally found her through a comment on one of Elena's old posts. Her name was Beatrice. I clicked on her profile. Her cover photo was a church. Her profile picture was Beatrice standing with a pastor, both of them smiling. I scrolled through her posts. Bible verses, church announcements, photos from bake sales and charity events, posts about family values and raising good Christian children. Elena's profile suddenly made more sense. It had always been carefully curated, nothing controversial, nothing too personal, because her mother was watching. Then I found what I was looking for in the comments under a church fundraiser post. Beatrice had listed her address for people who wanted to drop off donations. I wrote it down. Then I woke Leo up and showed him everything. "I think we need to go talk to her," I said. "Elena's mom?" Leo asked, rubbing his eyes. "Why?" "Because she might know something," I said. "Elena has been hiding her from us for a reason. Maybe her mom knows something about all of this. Maybe she can help us understand what's going on. Or maybe she can talk some sense into her." Leo looked at me for a long moment. "And if she can't? Then at least we'll know more than we know now." I was still processing what had happened in my own kitchen. Elena thought her little performance had put her in control. She thought Leo and I were trapped. She did not know what I had found. For years, she had kept her mother away from me. Now I was done being the person who did not ask questions. The next morning, Leo and I drove to Beatrice's house. It was about 40 minutes outside the city, in a quiet neighborhood with big lawns and American flags on almost every porch. On the drive, Leo and I talked about what we were going to say. "We just need information," I said. "We need to understand what we're dealing with." "What if her mom is just as crazy as she is?" Leo asked. "What if this runs in the family? Then at least we'll know." I gripped the steering wheel tighter. I'm tired of being in the dark. I'm tired of being surprised. Whatever Elena has been hiding, I want to know. We pulled up to a small white house with a garden full of flowers and a cross hanging on the front door. My stomach was in knots. I had no idea what we were walking into. Leo squeezed my hand. "You sure about this?" I nodded. "We need to know what we're dealing with." We walked up to the front door, and I knocked. A moment later, the door opened. Elena's mother was smaller than I expected. She was petite, with gray hair pulled back in a bun, a gold cross around her neck, and eyes that looked sharp and tired at the same time. She looked at me, then she looked at Leo. Her face tightened. "I know who you are," she said. Not hello. Not can I help you. Just, I know who you are. "I'm Veronica," I said. "I'm Elena's friend. This is my husband, Leo. We were hoping we could talk to you about—" "I know who you are," she repeated. Then she looked at Leo with an expression I could not fully read. Resignation, maybe, or dread. "You better come inside." She led us into a small living room filled with religious artwork and family photos. There was a picture of Elena as a little girl on the mantel. She was smiling in a white communion dress. Beatrice sat down in an armchair and gestured for us to take the couch across from her. "So," Beatrice said. She finally made her move. I blinked. "You know what's happening?" "I know my daughter," Beatrice said flatly. "I've been waiting for this since the day she told me she met him." She nodded toward Leo. "Why don't you start from the beginning? Tell me what she's done." So I did. I told her everything. I told her about the dinner where Elena demanded to share Leo. I told her about the groceries she left on our doorstep. I told her about the note that said she was not giving up on us. I told her about the months of unanswered texts to Leo. I told her about the copied key. I told her about Elena breaking into our house, cooking dinner in our kitchen, and admitting she had been coming in while we were gone. I told her about the closet, the books, the photos, the bathroom, all the little things Elena had been moving around. I told her about the drawing of herself in our wedding photo. I told her about Elena hitting herself and trying to frame Leo. I told her about the recording that had become useless because Elena knew exactly how to twist it. Beatrice listened without expression. When I finished, she closed her eyes for a long moment. When she opened them again, she looked older. "I hoped she'd grown out of this," she said quietly. "I really thought the therapy had worked." "Grown out of what?" I asked. "What do you mean?" Beatrice stood up and walked over to a cabinet in the corner of the room. She opened a drawer and pulled out a photo album. Then she brought it back and set it on the coffee table between us. "She told me she met Leo about 5 years ago," Beatrice said. You were all at some party together. She came home that night and talked about him for 3 hours. 3 hours, Veronica. She didn't sleep. She just talked and talked about this man she had met, and how he was perfect, and how they were going to be together. Then she opened the album. It was full of pictures of Leo. Some were printed from social media. Some I recognized from posts I had made, but others I had never seen before. Leo in the background at parties. Leo walking down the street. Leo coming out of buildings. She had been following him. She had been photographing him for years. This is the one I found first, Beatrice said. She pointed to a page near the back. It was a shrine, candles arranged around Leo's photos, a journal lying open, filled with his name written over and over. Mrs. Elena, Elena and Leo forever. Our wedding day. Names for their children. Beatrice's voice tightened. I made her destroy it. She didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. I felt like I was going to throw up. This was not an obsession that started at that dinner. This had been building for 5 years. Maybe longer. When did you find out about me? I asked. My voice came out small. Beatrice looked at me with something that might have been pity. She called me sobbing the night she found out you two were dating, she said. She called me every night for months. She'd cry herself sick. She stopped eating. She went to church every single day and prayed for your relationship to fail. She lit candles asking God to bring Leo back to her, as if he had ever been hers in the first place. Leo leaned forward. How long has this been going on? He asked, the full truth. For a second, Beatrice's face crumbled. Then she composed herself. When you two got engaged, Elena stopped eating completely, she said. I had to force her to drink water. She lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks. And when you got married, her hands were shaking. What happened when we got married? I asked. Beatrice wiped her eyes. She tried to end her life, she said. She swallowed a bottle of pills the night before your wedding. I found her on the bathroom floor. I got her to the hospital just in time. She was in the psych ward for 3 days. She made me swear never to tell anyone. I felt the room tilt. 15 years of friendship. Sleepovers, secrets, late-night phone calls. And the whole time, Elena had been building a fantasy world where my husband belonged to her. She had tried to kill herself because Leo married me, and she had never said a word. There's something else you should know, Beatrice said. She was looking directly at me now, with that same tired resignation. She tried to stop your wedding. What do you mean? I asked. 2 weeks before you got married, I started getting calls from your wedding venue, Beatrice said. They said someone had been calling repeatedly, trying to cancel the event, claiming to be you, saying the wedding was off. I only found out because Elena accidentally used my phone to make one of the calls, and they called back. And then I remembered. I remembered getting a panicked call from the venue coordinator asking if we were still having the wedding. At the time, I thought it was a mix-up, some glitch in their system, some clerical mistake. I had never even thought to suspect Elena. And there was a letter, Beatrice continued. She wrote an anonymous letter to Leo about 3 months before the wedding. She sent it to his work address. I found a draft of it on her computer. It said you were cheating on him. It said you had been having an affair with your coworker for months. It said he shouldn't marry you. Leo's face went pale. I got that letter, he said quietly. I threw it away. I didn't believe it. I thought it was just someone trying to cause trouble. It was Elena, Beatrice said. She was trying to destroy you from the inside. Then Beatrice looked down at her hands. I thought she was better. The therapy seemed to help. She got a job. She was functioning. She even told me she was happy for you two. I wanted to believe her. She looked at Leo. I should have warned you, both of you. I kept hoping it would just go away. What do we do now? Leo asked. His voice was strained. She needs help, Beatrice said. Real help. She needs to be committed again. But she's an adult now. I can't force her. The only way she goes back is if she's a danger to herself or others. She threatened us, I said. She told us we would regret making her the enemy. That might be enough, Beatrice said. Combined with everything else. The break-ins, the stalking, the self-harm manipulation. If you document everything and report it, they might be able to get a psychiatric hold on her. We were still sitting there, trying to process everything Beatrice had told us, when the front door slammed open. Elena was standing in the doorway. Her face cycled through shock, then confusion, then pure rage. What are you doing here? She asked. Her voice shook. Elena, Beatrice started. No. Elena pointed at us. You went to my mother. You're trying to turn her against me. She stormed into the living room, her whole body vibrating with anger. Veronica, how could you do this to me? She demanded. I'm your best friend. Elena, we're trying to help you, I said. I stood slowly, keeping my voice calm. You need help. What you're feeling isn't... Don't tell me what I'm feeling. She was screaming now. I know exactly what I'm feeling. I love Leo. I've loved him for 5 years, and I've been patient. I have been so patient while you got to have him every single day. Then she turned to Leo. Tell her, she said. Tell her you feel it too. I know you do. I know you think about me. Leo stood up. His voice was firm. Elena, I don't have feelings for you. I never have, I never will. What you're feeling isn't love, it's obsession, and you need professional help. Elena's face twisted. You're lying, she said. You're both lying. You're trying to make me look crazy. Honey, Beatrice said gently, you need to listen to them. You need to go back to the hospital. Get help. Like before, Elena backed away from all of us. I'm not going back there. I'm not crazy. I'm the only one who sees things clearly. I love him. Why is that so hard for everyone to understand? How did you even know we were here? I asked. Elena smiled. It was the wrong kind of smile. Too wide, too sharp. Then she pulled out her phone and showed us a map with a blinking dot on it. AirTag in your car, she said. I put it there months ago. My blood went cold. I always know where you are, Veronica, she said. I always know where he is. I know when you go to work. I know when you go to the gym. I know when you're home alone. Then she looked at Leo. I know when you're home alone too. She had been tracking us for months. Every move we made, she knew. I know everything about you, Leo. Elena continued. Her voice had shifted again. Now it sounded almost dreamy. I know you get coffee every morning at the same place. I know you go to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know you call your mom every Sunday at 2. I know you hate olives, but you eat them anyway because Veronica puts them in her salads. I know you talk in your sleep sometimes. I've watched you through your window. Leo took a step back. His face was gray. You've been watching me through my window? Our window, Elena corrected. It's going to be our window soon. Beatrice stepped forward. Elena, this has to stop. You're going back to the hospital tonight. I'm not going anywhere without him, Elena said. Her voice went flat, deadly calm. If I can't have Leo, then no one can. I looked at her, and for the first time in my life, I realized I had no idea who my best friend was anymore. Elena's eyes darted between all of us. Her mother, me, Leo. 3 people standing against her. Her breathing was shallow, and her hands were clenched into fists at her sides. You're all against me, she said. Her voice cracked. My own mother, my best friend, the love of my life. Everyone I care about is standing in this room, looking at me like I'm some kind of monster. You're not a monster, Elena, Beatrice said softly. You're sick, and we want to help you get better. I'm not sick, Elena screamed. The sound made all of us flinch. I'm in love. That's not a sickness. That's the most natural thing in the world. Then she turned to Leo, and her whole demeanor shifted. Her face softened. Her voice became pleading. Leo, please. You have to understand. I've given up everything for you. I waited for years. I prayed for you. I starved myself for you. I almost died for you. And this is what I get? Leo's face was pale, but his voice was steady. Elena, I never asked you to do any of that. I didn't know you were doing any of that. And even if I had known, it wouldn't change anything. I don't have feelings for you. I love Veronica. I chose Veronica. That's never going to change. Elena flinched like he had hit her. For 1 second, her face crumbled. Then it hardened again. She turned to me. This is your fault, she said. Her voice was low and cold. You stole him from me. You knew I loved him, and you took him anyway. That's not true, I said. I didn't know anything about how you felt. You never told me. I didn't have to tell you, Elena said. You should have seen it. You should have stepped aside. That's what a real friend would do. Then she looked back at Leo with an intensity that made my skin crawl. You don't understand, she said. We're meant to be together. I've seen the signs. Leo stared at her. What signs? Remember when you held the door for me at that coffee shop 3 years ago? She asked. You looked right at me and smiled. That was a sign. Elena, Leo said. That's just being polite. No, it wasn't. You held it for an extra second. You wanted me to notice. Her voice climbed higher. And remember at Veronica's birthday party when you asked if I wanted the last slice of cake? You gave it to me because you wanted to take care of me. That's love, Leo. That was just me being nice to my wife's friend. You were being nice because you love me. Then she kept going. And that time at the beach, when you put sunscreen on my back because Veronica's hands were full, you touched me. You wanted to touch me. I felt it. I felt sick. She had been collecting these moments for years. Ordinary interactions. Tiny, meaningless moments. A door held open. A slice of cake. Sunscreen at the beach. And she had twisted every single one of them into proof of something that did not exist. What about our wedding? I asked. My voice came out harder than I meant it to. What sign did you see there? Elena's face flickered. That was a test, she said. God was testing my faith, testing how much I was willing to sacrifice for love. You tried to kill yourself the night before, I said. Your mom told us everything. Elena's eyes went cold. She shouldn't have told you that, she said. That was private. You sent a letter to Leo calling me a cheater, I said. You tried to cancel our wedding venue. You've been sabotaging us from the beginning. I was fighting for my love, Elena shouted. I was fighting for what's mine, and I almost won. If that stupid venue coordinator hadn't called Mom back, you never would have made it to that altar. Beatrice stepped toward her daughter. Elena, honey, you need to calm down. We're going to call Dr. Dixon. We're going to get you some help. Don't touch me. Elena shoved her mother backward. Beatrice stumbled, but caught herself on the arm of a chair. You've never believed in my love, Elena said. None of you do. Then she turned back to me. Her eyes were wild now. If I can't have him, you don't get to keep him either. Then she lunged at me. Leo moved faster. He stepped between us and caught Elena before she could reach me. She thrashed against him. screaming and clawing at his arms. "Let me go," she shrieked. She ruined everything. He was supposed to be mine. Leo held her tight, his arms wrapped around her from behind, pinning her arms to her sides. She kicked and twisted, but he did not let go. Beatrice was already on the phone, giving the 911 operator her address. Then, suddenly, Elena stopped struggling. "Do you feel it?" she asked. Her voice was eerily calm. "Right now you're holding me. Don't you feel how right this is?" "I feel nothing, Elena," Leo said. His voice was exhausted. "I feel nothing but sorry for you." "You're lying," she whispered. "I can feel your heartbeat against my back. It's racing. That's because of me. That's because I'm scared of you." Then I heard sirens in the distance. Elena's head snapped up. Panic flooded her face. "No, no, 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 I'm not going back there." Her voice broke as she twisted in Leo's arms. "Leo, please, I'll do anything. I'll share, I'll take whatever you give me. Just please don't let them take me." Leo did not let go. "You need help, Elena. This is the only way." "I can change," she said. "I can be better. I'll stop coming to the house. I'll delete the AirTag. I'll do whatever you want. Just please don't send me back there." Then her voice broke completely. "You don't know what it's like in there. The white walls, the medication that makes you feel like you're underwater, the way they look at you like you're broken." "You are broken, Elena," I said. I did not mean for it to come out as harshly as it did, but I was done. "You've been broken this whole time, and none of us saw it." She went still in Leo's arms. When she spoke again, her voice was different, hollow. "I'm not broken," she said. "I'm just someone who loves too much. That's not a crime." "What you've been doing is a crime," Leo said. "The stalking, the break-ins, the threats. I never threatened anyone." "You said if you can't have me, no one can," Leo said. "What does that mean, Elena? What were you going to do?" She did not answer. The sirens were getting closer. Elena's body started trembling. "I wasn't going to hurt anyone," she whispered. "I just wanted you to love me. I just wanted someone to pick me for once." Beatrice knelt down so she was eye level with her daughter. Tears were streaming down her face. "Elena, baby, I pick you," she said. "I've always picked you. I'm your mother. I love you." "You locked me up," Elena said. "You put me in that hospital and left me there. I was trying to save your life. You took those pills. You almost died." "I took those pills because the man I love was marrying someone else, and you let him," Elena said. "You could have stopped it. You could have told Veronica about me, about how I felt, and you didn't. You just let it happen." "That wasn't my place, Elena," Beatrice said. "That wasn't my decision to make. It should have been." Elena was crying now. "But it was different from before. This was not performance. This was real. Someone should have fought for me just once," she said. "Someone should have looked at me and said, 'You matter more,' but nobody ever does. Not you, not Veronica, not Leo. I'm always the one who gets left behind." The police pulled up outside. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. Elena saw them, and something in her changed. The fight went out of her completely. Her shoulders dropped. Her head fell forward. "It's over, isn't it?" she said. It was not really a question. "You're going to get help," Beatrice said. "Real help this time." Elena let out a quiet, empty laugh. "I'm never going to be better, Mom. Don't you get it? This is who I am. This is all I am." The officers came through the front door. They took in the scene quickly. An older woman crying, a man holding a limp woman in his arms. Me standing against the wall, still shaking. "She's having a psychiatric episode," Beatrice told them. "She needs to go to the hospital. Ask for Dr. Dixon. He treated her before." The officers approached slowly. "Ma'am," one of them said gently, "we need you to come with us." Elena looked up at Leo one last time. "I would have been so good to you," she said quietly. "I would have loved you better than anyone ever could. You'll never know what you missed." Leo released her and stepped back. The officers took Elena gently by the arms. She did not fight them. She did not scream. She simply walked between them like she was sleepwalking, like she had already left her body behind. At the door, she stopped and turned back. Her eyes found Leo's across the room. "I'll wait for you," she said. "However long it takes, I'll wait." Then they put her in the back of the police car. Through the window, I could see her pressing her face against the glass. She was still watching Leo, still waiting for him to change his mind, still waiting for him to run outside and tell her it had all been a mistake. But he did not move. The car pulled away. The sirens faded into the distance. Leo came and stood beside me in the doorway. Neither of us spoke. Behind us, Beatrice sat in her armchair, crying quietly into her hands. "It's over," Leo said finally. I looked at the empty street. I looked at the house that suddenly felt too quiet, and I asked the only question I could. "Is it? Is?" Because I did not know if I believed it.